Hi guys, and welcome to Saved by the Tail. So today's video is part of my sort of insights into traveling to places like Pakistan. So a lot of you that are watching will most likely be thinking about traveling to Pakistan on your own, thinking about going to these sort of countries and sort of looking for advice from people that have been there themselves. Just to give you a bit of background, I am married to a Pakistani. We met back in 2011 when we were colleagues at Sainsbury's in the UK. He then went back to Pakistan in 2013, I believe it was. We were in a long distance relationship until we got married. So I went and stayed in Pakistan in 2017 before we got married. And I travelled there alone. So I'd never been anywhere other than Europe on my own. Never got on a long distance plane. I'd never thought I'd go out to somewhere like Pakistan, to be honest. When I said I was going to Pakistan on my own to my friends and family, they truthfully were a little bit worried. And I think this is quite common. I mean, when you look at all the different media and you see what's out there, it's not really any wonder that some people form these ideas of how Pakistan is. So I'm aiming in my future blogs to sort of give an idea of what it's actually like for a Westerner to go and visit Pakistan, particularly a Western woman. I always find that when I watch videos of men traveling, it's a completely different world for men. It's still challenging and there are challenges, but I always find women travelers, it's a lot more interesting to watch just because you know that they're going to have to deal with a lot more things. So I just want to give a bit of a recap on what my experience was when I travelled out to Pakistan for the first time. So I was pretty nervous, to be honest. I'd never travelled on my own on a long distance flight. I'd heard all these horrible stories about Pakistan. I'd read the British government advice was basically don't go. So I was a little bit nervous, to be honest, going out there. I also hadn't met most of his family, so I was a little bit anxious that I was going to go and stay with them, a little bit scared that they wouldn't like me and that I was a bit nervous. So I remember I went to the airport and I went over to the desk and they do the usual of where are you going? So I said, oh, I'm going to Pakistan. And they were like, sorry, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to Pakistan. And they were like, are you travelling on your own? I was like, yeah, I'm travelling on my own. They were like, oh, we don't usually see white women travelling on their own. I mean, you're travelling on your own? I was like, yes, I'm travelling on my own. So again, in my heart, I was just what am I doing? Even the people at the airport are not seeing this on a day-to-day basis. And there I am throwing myself in, travelling to Pakistan on my own. I went via Qatar. The flight was absolutely amazing. I did the first flight. You go often it's via Doha. So I got on the first flight from Heathrow to Doha, and then Doha Airport. I don't know if you've been there before. Very long, so I was a little bit lost, to be honest. I'd quite a bit of time between my connections, so there was a bit of time for me to navigate my way around. So I walked all the way down on my own, and then I sat in this area where I was probably the only lone white woman there. So I did attract quite a bit of attention already, but it was fine. I got on the plane, it was just as normal, did my flight, everyone was really friendly. And then I remember I got to the other end and it was before Islamabad had changed their airport, so they've recently changed their airport to a much flashier one. So I got off the plane and then I had to get on this bus, and I don't speak Urdu, unfortunately, only little bits which I'm picking up now. And I got on this bus and I asked them, I was going to the Raoul Lounge, which I hope I say right, I don't know, I still to this day don't know if I'm saying it right. So everyone else got off this coach on the standard bit and I had to keep going, and I was the only one on this coach with the coach driver, and they drove me off and I had no idea where I was going. So I pulled out, and luckily when I got there, my now husband was waiting on the other side. What I would say is, as a Western woman, I wore quite traditional clothing. But I think if you go there and you're a Western woman, you will attract more attention. So I actually find it better to wear more traditional Pakistani clothes. For any like Westerners that are watching, what I mean by traditional Pakistani clothes is I dress quite modestly anyway, but you don't have to wear something that's like down to your ankles. Like it's not like that. You don't have to dress up in the media's perception of clothes. They are modern there. I don't know why the media portrays it as any different, but what it means is don't wear anything really short. But they're all quite trendy and quite lovely colours. Like there's a shop out there called Khadi. We have it in London, but if you are travelling to Pakistan, what I would advise is don't buy a lot of your clothes before you go. Khadi in London is very expensive. If you save your money and just transfer it into the rupee and buy stuff while you're out there, you will get a lot more for your money, and also stuff that's actually on trend and, you know, the current season. So I would say wait until you're there to buy a lot of your clothes. So anyway, I came out of the Raoul lounge and I went into the car park, and even then I was still attracting quite a bit of attention. I'm quite fair as far as like white women go. I'm very pale and I know that. So it's nothing scary, it's just to make you aware that whereas in British culture, people don't really look, or they do, but like in a subtle way. What I have noticed is when you are there, people will look. It's just the nature of the society. It's nothing like, it's not scary at all. It's just something to be aware of and just like have your wits about you. But yeah, overall, like traveling as a white woman to Pakistan on my own, I mean, I've done it several times now. You kind of get used to it. But I know that like the first time you're thinking about doing it, your heart is a little bit like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? But once you're there, like the culture is amazing, and I will run you through all the different experiences as I go back again. Unfortunately, I wasn't vlogging back then. What I'll do in this video is just run through a few of the highlights.
So here are the highlights. So these were taken in Manau restaurant, which is a restaurant which is set up a really steep hill, which I'll show you on a later journey to Pakistan. It's got stunning views and it's really, really popular. These photos are from Barrier Town Zoo. Strangely, we didn't actually notice the dog in with a tiger until we re-looked at these photos. Very odd. And here we are at Faisal Mosque, which is actually where we ended up getting married. So I have plenty of more videos and pictures of this, which I'll share at a later date. Sadly, I didn't take many pictures or videos during my first visit, but watch this space and there'll be plenty more to come. And this was us back then, before we got married.
Blinded by the light.
I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please do subscribe down at the bottom. There will be more videos like this, as well as like tips in our day-to-day life so you can see how we live. And yeah, thanks for watching and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.